What's up, heathens? How ya doing? Tonight we are going to be going over a young Earth Creationist answering what happened to the dinosaurs. So I hope that you're interested in what young Earth Creationists think about the dinosaurs, where they went, what happened to them, and why an asteroid isn't to blame for their extinction. We're gonna find out tonight as we watch the 1 minute or one minute apologist. It's the 1 minute apologist. Anyways, let's cut to the intro. Boom! Right here with the one minute apologist. You're gonna see why I'm saying that, okay?
Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. We interview the world's leading apologists to provide credible answers to curious questions.
They are curious questions, but they're not credible answers. I have to dispute your whole intro here, 1 minute apologist, which I think his name is Billy Connolly or something like that. Because the answers that they give are not credible in any kind of sense.
Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. My name is Bobby Conway. I am here with Jason Jimenez in the studio, who's an author, speaker, apologist. Good to have you on the program, bro.
Oh, I'm glad you have me.
You know, Jason, one of the things that I've observed during my existence is I haven't seen like T-Rex roaming the earth. So this begs the question, what has happened to the dinosaurs?
You know, that is a very good question. What happened to the dinosaurs? And science has a very good answer because we've been able to predict, what we might find. And given the evidence, the observational evidence, we are able to make predictions about what possibly happened. So, first of all, the Clyde 950 just did a super chat. Thank you so much there, Clyde 950. You are awesome. So it is a very good question. What happened to them? Now, creationists will say that, God had Moses put some dinosaurs on the ark. Some of the dinosaurs survived afterwards. And then it's like, well, what happened to them then? Science can, look at the observational evidence and give you the most likely thing that happened, being that asteroids hit the Earth 65 million years ago and killed off the apex creature, which would have been the dinosaurs and all of those types of animals. It was a massive extinction event. Those things were in actual, were in existence at the time. So there's no way they could have been talking about dinosaurs. We've always been fascinated with giant fucking creatures. So it's not all that fucking weird. The Greeks claimed that cyclopses were real. There are books that detail shit about cyclopses and minotaurs. Are those things fucking real at this point? What, honey? They're real? Who the fuck did? Nobody fucking told me.
And so there's references that look like these are mentioning of dinosaurs. And so if that's the case, then obviously dinosaurs were there even as civilization was thriving.
So if civilization was thriving like he's talking about, and during the times that the Bible were written, we have dinosaurs that were actually living, then wouldn't we expect to find references other than just in the Bible? Like, I get it. In Asia they have like a bunch of dragon myths, and in England they have some dragon myths, but I'm talking about like drawings of shit, of actual dinosaurs, things that we actually know to be dinosaurs. Not only that, but we don't find any fossils that would place them in the 3rd or 4th century BCE or anywhere close to that particular time frame. There are no fossils that date to that point in time. There are no other indications that dinosaurs existed at that point in time. So you're going to need a little bit more evidence than just my book says it. Oh yes, thank you. We got another super chat by Drew's Book Reviews saying my dragon is a dinosaur. Roar! Lol. Thank you, Drew.
So in the end, what happened to them? Some people thought, meteor hit. But here's what I have to say to that, though. If the meteor was that impactful millions of years ago, I don't think the Earth would have never, ever recovered. Plus, it would have annihilated all the millions of fossils that we have of dinosaurs to begin with.
Okay. So let me get this straight. Because you don't understand how a meteor hitting the Earth would have caused an extinction level event that would cause the dinosaurs to go extinct. Because you don't understand how the Earth could recover from that, that means that it didn't happen. This is such a blatant use of the personal incredulity fallacy. You don't understand it, therefore it's not possible. And I would also love to know, why the fuck do you think that a meteor hitting one portion of the Earth would destroy all of the fossils already in existence? Like, it was big and it caused an extinction level event, but it's not like it obliterated the Earth completely. All right, it hit it hard enough to where it threw up dust in the atmosphere. And one reason that we know that the meteor hitting it had such a wide-ranging effect is because we see that in the geologic strata, which your creationist theory can't actually account for. You can't account for what we see in the geologic strata. So, just because you don't understand how the Earth could recover doesn't mean that the Earth couldn't recover. It obviously did.
So I tend to think that the dinosaurs lived on the ark and then eventually they became extinct for natural causes.
Yeah, I appreciate.
They became extinct from natural causes. I feel like a meteor hitting the Earth is a natural cause. So, I mean, they did go extinct because of natural causes, but not because of whatever the fuck you think happened after the entire Earth, flooded with water. Another thing, there's not enough water, even in our local group, to cover the Earth as much as it would need to be covered. So, there's another little ding in your idea there about creationism. Like I've said this entire time, the creationism model does not account for all of the observable information that we have now. There's no prediction that the creation model can make that would allow us to know anything about reality. The best that the creation model can do is just say, well, God wanted to do it that way. There are several things in reality that the creation model can't explain. Like, for instance, why can't the creation model explain why God would just, form new features out of pre-existing features? Like with the panda's radiosesamoid. Why can't this God explanation explain what we see in chromosome 2? And I know I've harped on those particular two evidences or pieces of evidence a lot here lately, but I feel like these are very damning examples of how much the creation model fails. So I would like to know that. I would also like to know why there's not one single strata if the entire Earth was covered in a flood. They have this fantastic idea that the global flood neatly laid down different layers of strata and then neatly organized organisms going from trilobites all the way up to present day. They have this idea of this neat ordering. And what explanation do they have for it? Well, that's what God wanted to do. So I guess that's how it happened. God did it that way. And there's no real explanatory power there. There's no way for creationism to actually predict or explain things in reality. Whereas evolution can explain several things in reality. Evolution operates by natural processes. And what happened to the dinosaurs? A meteor hit the Earth and caused an extinction level event. And this is evidenced in the geologic strata. It's evidenced in the fossil evidence that we find. It's evidenced everywhere. It explains the observed reality, or it explains our observations that we can actually make. So there's a little bit more, but there's not much. I mean, they're just going to bullshit here at the end, but we'll watch it.
appreciate you sharing that. I think it's also helpful for people to understand these weren't full-grown dinosaurs.
Right.
Perhaps, or getting on the ark.
Yeah,
a lot of them
exactly.
were a lot smaller and everything. So
Exactly.
well said.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, this was done a few years ago, so apparently he had the raging war of ideas. I don't know what that's supposed to be about, but apparently this pastor guy is full-on young Earth creationist. So, I don't know, I didn't put the, let's see, I can edit the thing real quick to have the, to have this video in the description. I left it blank. I meant to put it in there beforehand, but I was busy getting set up and everything. Let's see. See if I can get it pulled. What happened to the dinosaurs? See. Save. There we go. All right. It's saved in the description. If you guys want to go check it out, all you got to do is hit the refresh button real quick and you'll be able to go and check out the video for yourself. But that's going to be it for the 1 Minute Apologist. It was kind of a short video tonight. So sorry about how short it is, but they don't really provide a lot of information here about what technically happened to them. They talked about the dinosaurs not being able to adapt, but we know that that's not true because we find several instances of dinosaurs being able to adapt in the geologic and paleontologic history. Well, I guess technically paleontologically, not really geologically, but those two are kind of linked. But anyways, so we've been able to observe them changing like that. Like, for instance, did you know that T-Rexes originally were really small and then they slowly evolved into these massive creatures? And that's evidenced in the fossil record. And so we have evidence of them adapting and changing. So their explanation doesn't make a lot of sense. While disease and everything could account for some of the losses, they just ultimately have to give it up to God. That's their ultimate explanation, is that God didn't want them to be around. Also, if dinosaurs did exist, like after the flood, then, I mean, how would we be able to exist? How would we be able to exist in this quote unquote fallen world if like velociraptors and shit were around? Which actual velociraptors weren't all that scary. I guess T-Rexes would be more of a thing to be worried about. But anyways, we're about to go into the Skeptic Mafia comments. If you want to be part of the Skeptic Mafia, you can hit that join link down below, where you can become a shill or a full mafioso or a pure free thinker or a globehead. You can become either one of those. It would help out the channel here and everything, and you get to leave fabulous comments if you're a mafioso or higher. And so we're about to go into that. If you're not going to be sticking around or you're watching on the replay, then I hope that you guys will leave a comment down below, smash that like button, subscribe if you like this kind of content, and as always, stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.